Hi there, welcome to No Nonsense Whiskey. My name's VinPF, and on today's episode we're doing a Whisky In, Whisky Out, this time for the month of November 2022. Now if you haven't caught this kind of video before, all I do on these videos is tell you about the whiskies that I got in this month and tell you about the bottles that I killed this month. Simple as that. If you're not interested in the Whisky In, you can skip right ahead to the Whisky Out, but I know you guys are enjoying these videos, so I'm going to stop asking if you like them, but if you do like them, please do hit the thumbs up. It really does let me know that you want to see more of this kind of content. As always then, I'm going to hit this up and bring these bottles out. But before I do, this month's been a bit weird because I have 4 bottles in and I have 4 bottles out, but I didn't buy any bottles this month. I've got one that came from industry as a kind of PR sample, if you like, but the other 3 are almost bottle kills from a friend of mine at my local whiskey club, Alex. He wanted to help support the channel, so last time I met up with him in this month, we did a dram swap almost, and he gave me the kind of like the bottom third of 3 of these bottles, but I'll go through that there. But yeah, it's just been a bit of a weird month. We've all been experiencing the cost of living crisis, and it's no different here at No Nonsense Whiskey Towers, let me tell you. This is not my day job by any stretch, so tightening the belts, and I haven't bought any bottles this month because you can't see, but down here below this shelf, down below there is my review queue, and I'm good for like up to March, so I didn't really need to buy any bottles this month, and I managed to keep away from the FOMO a little. Wittering on, let's get onto the Whisky In, and we'll see what I got in this month, and we'll start with that PR bottle that I said. In fact, eagle-eyed viewers will see I've just covered this a couple of days ago. The In the Welsh Wind Cask Aged Rum Burgundy Red Wine Cask. Obviously not a whiskey, this is a rum, but if you watch that video, please do go and watch that video, because independent bottles and low and kind of like smaller establishments are very underviewed. But I would love it if you go and check them out, because as I mentioned in that video and I mentioned here, these guys are doing really wonderful things. The whiskey that they're creating is quite remarkable, to the point where I bought a cask of theirs, 30-litre cask, but I'm going to be doing a video on that fairly soon. That's going to be coming out probably in a week or so, and you're going to be following my journey through kind of cask ownership to bottling and eventually selling that. There'll only be 40 bottles or so available in 3 years' time, but I'll be selling that to you guys somehow. Moving on, but yeah, hopefully you enjoy that video, because this, I think, is a rum for whiskey drinkers. Let's put that there. Right, so the next 3 then, Alex gave me these, and you can see, well, I don't know, maybe you can't see, it's about there, maybe I said a third, but yeah, I've had a little bit of all of these to see how we're getting on. But we've got here the Lagavulin Charred Oak 11 Years Offerman Edition. In fact, I'm not sure if these are all peated or not, but yeah, we're a big fan of that sort of thing. I tried to pick some interesting ones. So as I always say with this Whisky In, if you want to see any of these bottles being bumped up the list a little, make sure you comment below to let me know which ones you want to see first, essentially. The next one then, I've been dying to try this, but I just don't get Kilkerran around here. But this is the Kilkerran Port Cask Matured, Cask Strength, 8 years old. And there's Alex there as well. So, I mean, you can imagine, once I review these, I'll be putting them in they'll be in like next month's bottle kill, probably. Finally then, for Whisky In, is the Lochlea, and this is the Fallow edition, first crop. Got to admit, I don't know much about these guys. This was just an interesting one. He said, do you want to try it? Of course, I will try literally any whiskey. That's not to say I like every single one I've tried, but I will try anything. I'm not going to, even though I'm not a big fan of kind of sherry cask stuff, I'll try it. I'm not fussy about that. But funny you should say that, this is a sherry cask. So we'll see how I get on with that. Genuinely haven't tried this one yet, so don't know anything about it. But by the time I cover it, I will. Well, that's my 4 in. Let me know what you think of those. Let's check out the Whisky Out. Let's do it. So I'm just going to reach over in no particular order. We've got the Tullybarden Sovereign. Did my reviews of these. This one I bought, and the other ones they were sent to me by the distillery. But once the reviews were done, these went in my readily to drink cabinet, and I readily drank them. This one here, you know, this is the entry level one. Cheap as chips. On its own, I'll say this quite clearly, but on its own, I think it's just fine. You know, but compared with the others in the range of their signature range, not my favourite by a long stretch. But yeah, absolutely fine to drink, especially if you get it on Amazon or something like that. Secondly, then the Tullibardine 225. Again, not my favourite. I managed to kill the ones that weren't my favourite, and I've kept the two that are more to my preference, and that was the 228 and the 500. But still, a very enjoyable dram. These started going up in price a little bit. If you buy them direct from Tullibardine, you're paying over the odds, I think. But if you wait, especially in the UK on Amazon, these come up quite cheap. And people miss them. People miss them. That is the sad fact, because I mean, well, maybe I shouldn't say stuff like this, but the livery is a bit boring. They've changed it up recently, and it looked better than it did before. But it just looks like, I don't know, like classic Scotch, and it is a classic Scotch, but there's nothing that makes this stand out on the shelf, I don't think, if I'm being brutally honest. If you're going, I mean, the 225 is readily available in most supermarkets in the UK, and there's always something else to buy, is the brutal truth. But the people that aren't buying it, you're missing out, because it is a good dram. It is a good dram. This little bad boy. This is the Stornin floor malted rye. If I'm honest, I reviewed this kind of like as honestly as I could. One of the things I always try to say is there's no such thing as a bad whiskey. There's only whiskies that maybe I don't like as much. So I don't categorise this as a terrible whiskey. I've got a playlist of terrible whiskies that's got like 4 in it right now, and one of them was just a bad cork, I think. I just do not vibe with rye, and this one did not change that opinion. I did a blind tasting with this recently, and it came out on top of all of the other rubbish that I sent these poor people. I bottled up stuff that I basically wasn't going to drink to see what people would think of them, and this one came out on top. But for me, I did not enjoy this bottle at all, even though I managed to pick out a few good things to say about it when I did my review. Just me though, I'm literally, the more people I talk to, I am the enigma on that. Most people did like this, so don't take my word for it. Basically, I've always said this. I'm not the one-stop shop for whiskey. If you find that you don't agree with my opinion on a specific bottle, check out another reviewer who will like it, and you can get the converse of that. But yeah, people raving about Stornin, not a distillery that I'm vibing with at the moment, personally. Finally, then, we've got the McMira Lochlea. This is a bit of a weird one. It was lingonberries and blueberry wine mixed in with kind of normal whiskies. I put this in my to kill pile because, again, I didn't really vibe off it that much. It's not the best whiskey they've released. It's not the worst, but it's, in my personal opinion, my flavour profiles, my preferred drinking palate type, this was pretty low in the bar for them. Still enjoyable, you know. I enjoyed drinking this, and obviously I drank it. You know, it wasn't like the Stornin where I had to give it away basically to get it gone. But yeah, not my favourite McMira by any stretch, indeed. There you go, bit of a weird one this month. No real bottles in that I've bought myself, and a bunch of bottles that I've been eagerly waiting to kill because I just didn't vibe off them so much. The Tullibardines winning the day here for me, but again, there are better Tullibardines than those two. Bit slightly longer video maybe than usual, bit more wittering, but the key thing I want to know from you guys today is, have you got a kind of distillery that you just don't vibe with? You know, I'm not looking for people to start bashing things. I'm not looking for negativity. Just something like this Stornin for me, where everyone else seems to like it, but you just go, I just don't get on with that flavour profile. That's it. That's what I want to know. Drop some comments below and let's start a conversation. In any case, I'll catch you again next month for another WIWO, and don't forget to check out my reviews in between, of course. These WIWOs are super popular, but I would love it if you would watch a couple of my other videos as well, because that's what we're here for, right? But in any case, I'll catch you again on more videos. See you soon.